Salisbury Center, we are ready for our next super fight. This will be a gi black belt featherweight bout. And now, making his way to the mat and representing Nature Jiu-Jitsu, it's Taniel Jesus.
Taniel Jesus coming out here, a black belt representing Nature Jiu-Jitsu out of Rio de Janeiro.
There he is.
Yep, co-main event making his way to the stage. This is a gi match versus Yuta Shimada.
Yeah, Taniel, not someone we've seen at any Copa events so far, but an accomplished competitor. Has had recent matches against some of the most well-known professionals, tough matches.
Yeah, absolutely a guy we are happy to see here at Copa Elite on the co-main event prior to the men's absolute cash prize division kicking off right after this one.
And his opponent, making his way to the mat and representing Marcelo Garcia Jiu-Jitsu Academy, it's Yuta Shimada.
Yuta Shimada representing Marcelo Garcia out of Japan. He previously competed in the Copa Cash Prize Tournament divisions. We've seen him in the gi. He's an IBJJF third place medalist in 2023. Recently, he's been at Rio. He's the IBJJF Asian champ. He's a former ADCC trials winner, went to ADCC 2017. Very, very accomplished black belt. We know Yuta Shimada mainly for his fantastic judo and his willingness to throw that in gi and in no gi and the action and pace that he pushes.
Yeah, Yuta is a well-known competitor in the jiu-jitsu world overall. Anyone that makes it to ADCC is immediately well-known. And a couple interesting things, this recent placement at Pans was in a 50-man bracket.
Yeah, absolute giant bracket there. So again, that speaks to the frequency of competition of Yuta Shimada, and it's been awesome to call matches for him previously. Very excited to see him take on Taniel Jesus. I think Cam gave him the edge of the mat warning as well right there. As we know, again, we know Yuta's game, very, very heavy judo, leans into that. Big throws is what he's looking for, and so.
Taniel coming out looking quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Really ran across the mat.
Guard pull from Taniel right away. Does not want to deal with that judo.
Yeah, again, I love the speed on the featherweight guys here.
Yuta does a nice job on the initial pass attempt, the step up.
Yeah, looking for just a lumberjack pass. Jumping to the side on Taniel here, looking to flatten out.
That was textbook mobility passing, a quick Toriando to the left, switching the hips back to the right over top, settling down into this position. Really beautiful work. We have Yuta up 5-0 at this point.
Yeah, he gets that takedown. He gets that guard pass. Again, 9 minutes. It's a 10-minute match. Again, because it's your main event gi match. We have the cash prize division taking place after this, but these guys are given the full regulation time in the rule set to work, which is 10 minutes. I think the only 10-minute match that we've seen this night.
So far, yes. Yuta laying heavy hips down into that side control. Climbing up once he gets control of that arm.
Yeah, he's working cross-side for some sort of lapel choke, I think. He's got his belt across, and he's looking for an assassin choke. He's got a baby arm right now with the belt there. He's pulling it up and trapping the arm on the body. This is something we see Barry Yoshida do a lot of, and so it's really great to see Yuta Shimada doing this here. Potentially going to look to isolate the arm, come up. Maybe we'll score a knee on belly off this, but I'm curious to see where he decides to transition off of this. This can be used as a choke, and the belt can be used to choke as long as it is still tied around the body. Yeah. And you're just using the front half of the belt knot.
And it's your own belt.
You can use your competitor's belt.
Or your competitor's belt.
Either belt is allowed to be used. But it just has to be tied with that standard knot. So if you have a longer belt, like it's traditional for some of the old school guys, a lot of these techniques become much more available.
Yuta looking like he's looking to use this to climb up to that neon belly to potentially score those points, maybe move, transition into full mount from that position.
Yeah, he's crawling that far side arm up, and because we know Yuta has such mobile hips, I'm guessing he might do a big step over to the mount, or he'll slide across the body with like a knee cut on the side in order to get his points, but he could also just go for a far side Kimura or Americana here.
He transitioned that belt grip to the low lapel grip, still has the baby arm locked in. He's using that as a really nice control point. Nice work from Taniel, bucking up, creating a little bit of space, and collecting that half guard. Very traditional escape to half guard from that side control. Very well executed.
Yeah, I mean, it's traditional because it works, and it's worked for a long time, and it's a great way to get back into that position to get out of the side control.
Unfortunately for Taniel, he is still back flat on the mat, and Yuta still has that low lapel grip over his arm. It essentially takes that arm out of the game.
And it's so hard to fight that grip because you can't bring your same side arm or the opposite side arm across to fight it. And because your arm is pulled so tight into your body, there's very little you can actually do there, aside from, again, exactly what Taniel is doing here, bucking his hips all the way up and trying to get over, trying to get out. I'm curious to see if Yuta Shimada is going to look to score the neon belly. Yuta looking to take the back in a Berimbolo variation.
Edge of the mat. Ref stops it just in time. It's a tough spot to reset, given how close they were to a couple different position changes there. We'll see how the refs do it. This is a hard call. The right call to prevent these athletes from falling off the edge of the mat. You have to make that, but it's a tough one to reset.
Exactly. I'm curious if we're going to reset back to that rolled position or if we're going to reset standing because we couldn't recreate the position
back to
as
neutral.
They were off the mat, which I think is the reasonable thing to do here, although unfortunate.
Seems smart to me as well. Guard pull from Taniel again.
Actually, flying triangle looked like. Yuta immediately going over. Taniel getting on top here with I think a body lock. He has the low pant grip. He is going to get 2 points for that.
Yeah, that was. It's unclear to me whether that was an intentional sweep from Taniel or if Yuta, ended up pulling guard from an unusual position there because they kind of got up a little bit. Either way, it counts as a sweep for Taniel, whether it was an intentional move from Yuta or not.
Yeah, and again, he's going to score here. So right now the score is up. Taniel's up 2 to Yuta Shimada's 8, and we have just over half the match to work. 5:30 left to work.
Still plenty of time for Taniel to make up those points.
Yeah,
Submissions
absolutely.
are always on the table as ways to win, even if you're down.
Especially with that flying triangle. Again, we've seen how dynamic in this short time that Taniel is. Very willing to throw up hard subs. But Yuta Shimada working for that overhook lapel grip on the arm, potentially going to fall off for either a flower sweep, a log splitter sweep. But Taniel so dynamic.
Very quick. Nice quick movement from Taniel. As soon as Yuta opened.
Beautiful reversal from Yuta there, looking for the back of Taniel. Taniel's doing a good job of fighting that hook and that foot from coming over by reaching his hand really low. But Shimada has a great overhand grip, and he's double lapelled over for the body on the back.
Yuta had both hooks in for a second there, reset the position, put his hooks back in.
He put his hooks back in just long enough to get the points, and then Yuta's very flexible. We're seeing him crawl his hooks up, actually trapping now the same side arm of Taniel, and now he's going for a lapel choke or potentially a belt choke. He's facing away from us, so I can't really tell. This overhand camera is a little bit better, but I love a camera on the front there. Yuta Shimada's looking for a fall-off bow and arrow choke on the side here. But here you can see Taniel's arm is trapped there, so Taniel can't actually use that arm to defend. So Yuta's essentially in a 2-on-1 situation with this choke. Got an assassin choke behind, and he taps.
Beautiful work. Now that arm over, that arm trap back control is getting more and more popular. We see it worked perfectly here by Yuta.
Yeah, such a great technique to see here on a stage like this. Yuta Shimada takes it with a modified collar choke from the back, a bow and arrow with the assassin choke finish. You'll love to see it. Love watching Yuta Shimada's game. Taniel put up a great performance, great and dynamic. Would absolutely love to see both these guys back on the next Copa Elite or at any Copa tournament.
Very clean jiu-jitsu from both of them.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Cam Nandera has called a stop to the action for your winner by collar choke from the back. It's Yuta Shimada!
How you doing? I am here with Yuta Shimada. Yuta, how you doing tonight?
Arigato, Virginia!
Great submission, great setup. What was your preparation like going into this match and this co-main event here on Copa Elite?
So my main plan is playing my top game because he has nice takedown game. So, and also I'm a judo black belt, so I wanna try my judo takedowns, but he's so good and his jumping crossbar is so dangerous, so I set up my stacking pass immediately, but he's take me down, a big takedown. He's so good. But that arm drop choke, I learned that position from my coach, Marcelo Garcia. Thank you guys. Yeah, today I had a nice fight with my great partner, but Marcelo is also fighting with cancer, stomach cancer. So, thank you guys. So, and me and my teammates, we film a video. Then all of that benefits will go to Marcelo. So if you start in our DVD, please check the video Fanatics. Please. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Brodnik. Awesome to see you compete here tonight in Copa Elite.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.